The door clicks shut before the mistake registers. Kairo doesn't look at the driver. Rain hammers the windows, turning the street into a watercolor smear of brake lights and neon. His hand presses against his stomach, 8 months tight, the skin stretched thin over something that kicks and rolls like it knows time is running out. The cramp comes sharp, stealing his breath, and he doubles forward in the back seat. Leather, expensive leather. The kind that doesn't crack or fade. The kind that costs more than 3 months of his rent in that basement studio off Springfield Avenue. The engine purrs, not like the ride shares he's used to, the ones that rattle and smell like old French fries and someone else's cologne. This is different, smooth, quiet, the kind of quiet that makes you notice your own heartbeat. Hospital, Kairo whispers, eyes squeezed shut. Please, I need. The driver still hasn't spoken. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. The car moves, not toward the hospital. West, away from the lights, away from the bodega on the corner where Kairo knows the owner's name, away from the bus stop where he's waited 100 times with grocery bags cutting into his palms. The street's narrow. Brick buildings press closer, their windows dark like closed eyes. Rain sheets across the glass, and Kairo tries to sit up, tries to see the driver's face in the rearview mirror. Amber eyes catch the streetlight. Not brown, not hazel. Amber, like a wolf's eyes in a nature documentary, the kind that track prey through snow. The driver's hands rest on the wheel, gloves, black leather, fingers relaxed. No wedding ring, no phone mount, no air freshener hanging from the mirror, just clean lines and control. Kairo's throat closes. Wrong car, wrong driver, wrong everything. His voice cracks. I didn't order this car. The driver's jaw shifts, sharp, clean-shaven, the kind of face that belongs on a billboard or a wanted poster. I know. 2 words, that's all, but they land like a diagnosis, like a door locking from the outside. Kairo's fingers find the handle. He pulls. Nothing. Child lock. The kind of feature that should make him feel safe, should make him think this is a parent's car, a family car. But his instincts scream louder than logic. Omega instincts, the ones coded into his DNA, the ones that know when an alpha is close, when power is present, when submission is expected. Another cramp, worse this time. Kairo gasps, head tipping back against the seat. His coat is damp, not from rain. He looks down. Blood, dark and spreading across the fabric, soaking through his thrift store scarf, the one he bought for $2 at the Goodwill on Broad Street, the one he thought made him look put together, like he had his life figured out. Please, the word breaks apart in his mouth. My baby. The driver's eyes flick to the mirror again, calculating, assessing. Then he moves, one hand leaving the wheel, reaching for something in the console. A phone, sleek, black, no case. He dials without looking, the car still gliding forward like it knows the route by heart. I'm bringing someone in. The driver's voice is low, clipped, not a request, a statement. Omega, 3rd trimester, bleeding, have the room ready. No names, no pleasantries. The phone disappears back into the console. Kairo should feel relief, he should feel grateful, but all he feels is trapped. The city blurs past, warehouses now, chain-link fences, the kind of neighborhood where streetlights flicker and die. His pulse hammers in his ears. Every instinct tells him to run, to scream, to do something. But his body won't cooperate. The baby shifts, pressing against his ribs, and another cramp steals his breath. The car slows, stops, Kairo's vision swims. He sees a building, brick, unmarked, a single light above a steel door. Not a hospital, no ambulances. No bright signs promising emergency care, just a door and a man in a black coat standing beside it, waiting. The driver steps out. Kairo hears the door open, feels the cold air rush in. Then hands strong, careful, slide under his arms, lifting him like he weighs nothing. He tries to pull away, but his legs buckle. The baby kicks hard, a protest or a plea. Kairo doesn't know anymore. I won't hurt you. The driver's voice is close now, right against his ear. Steady, almost gentle, but you need to breathe. Kairo sucks in air, once, twice. The world tilts as he's carried through the door into warmth, into light that's too bright and too clean. Voices overlap, low, urgent, professional. He catches fragments, cervix, fetal distress, clotting factors, medical words, the kind that mean something is wrong, something is breaking, something might not be fixable. His coat is peeled away. His scarf falls to the floor ruined. Hands press against his stomach, checking, measuring. A needle slides into his arm, IV line, saline, something to keep him tethered to consciousness. The driver steps back, but he doesn't leave. He stands at the edge of the room, arms crossed, watching, guarding. Kairo's vision tunnels. The ceiling tiles blur into a white haze. His hand finds his stomach again, fingers splayed wide like he can hold everything together through sheer will. The baby moves, still alive, still fighting. But the blood hasn't stopped. A nurse leans over him, her face masked, her eyes kind. We're going to take care of you, just stay with us. Kairo wants to believe her. He wants to trust the machines beeping around him, the hands that move with purpose, the driver who stands watch like a sentinel. But trust is a luxury he lost a long time ago, back in Maryland, back when promises meant something before they turned into lies. The door opens again, footsteps, confident, slow. Kairo's eyes drag toward the sound. A man enters, tall, lean, blonde hair slicked back, suit tailored to perfection. He looks at Kairo the way someone looks at a stray dog, with curiosity and contempt. His gaze drops to Kairo's stomach, lingers there, then lifts to the driver. You picking up strays now, Calderón? The name hits like a fist. Calderón. Kairo knows that name. Everyone knows that name. It's whispered in grocery stores, in barbershops, in courtrooms. Rafe Calderón, the alpha who doesn't spill blood on sidewalks. He spills it in spreadsheets, in offshore accounts, in deals that ruin lives without a single gunshot. The driver, Rafe, doesn't move. His eyes stay fixed on the blonde man. Leave. The blonde man smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. That Omega's worth leverage. The air thickens. Kairo feels it, feels the shift, the tension coiling like a spring about to snap. Rafe takes one step forward, just one, but it's enough to make the blonde man's smile falter. If you breathe near him again, Rafe says quietly, I'll bury your entire network from Massachusetts to Illinois. The blonde man's jaw tightens. He glances at Kairo one last time, assessing, cataloging, then turns and walks out. The door swings shut behind him. Kairo's heart slams against his ribs. He doesn't understand. Doesn't understand why Rafe threatened someone for him. Doesn't understand why he's here instead of bleeding out in an alley. Doesn't understand why the wrong car suddenly feels like the only thing standing between him and oblivion. The nurse adjusts the IV. The machines keep beeping. The baby keeps moving. And Rafe keeps watching. Kairo wakes to white noise. Not silence. Silence would be better. This is the hum of machines, the whisper of air through vents, the rhythmic beep of a monitor counting heartbeats that aren't just his anymore. His eyes open slowly, lids heavy like someone stitched weights to them. The ceiling is unfamiliar, smooth, clean, no water stains or cracks like the one in his apartment where he used to lie awake counting imperfections. His hand moves to his stomach, still there, still round. The baby shifts beneath his palm, a lazy roll that says still here, still fighting. Relief floods through him, sharp and dizzying. Then memory crashes back. The car, the blood, the alpha with amber eyes who knew his name before Kairo ever spoke it. Rafe Calderón, the man whose name makes prosecutors sweat and defense attorneys rich. The man who just threatened to dismantle someone's entire criminal network because they looked at Kairo wrong. He tries to sit up. Pain lances through his abdomen, not sharp but deep, the kind that warns him to stay still or pay for it. A hand appears in his periphery, steady and firm, getting him back down. Don't. Rafe's voice closer than expected. Kairo turns his head. The alpha sits in a chair beside the bed, jacket gone, sleeves rolled to his elbows. He looks exhausted, shadows under his eyes, jaw tight like he hasn't slept in days, but his gaze is clear, focused. Where Kairo's throat is sandpaper, he swallows, tries again. Where am I? Private facility, Manhattan. Rafe leans back, fingers steepled. You were hemorrhaging, they stabilized you. Kairo's eyes scan the room. No windows, one door, medical equipment that looks too advanced for a regular hospital. Who are they? Rafe doesn't answer immediately. He stands, moves to a small table near the wall, pours water from a pitcher into a plastic cup. He brings it back, holds it out. Kairo stares at it like it might be poison. Drink, not a command, a suggestion, but the kind of suggestion that makes you comply. Kairo takes the cup, his hands shake. Water spills over the rim, dampening the thin hospital gown someone dressed him in. He sips, cold, clean. It soothes the rawness in his throat, but does nothing for the rawness in his chest. Why did you help me? The question comes out sharper than intended. Rafe's expression doesn't change. You needed help. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting right now. Frustration bubbles up, hot and bitter. Kairo wants to throw the cup, wants to scream, wants to demand real answers from this alpha who acts like saving strangers is just another Tuesday. But exhaustion drags at him and the baby kicks again, gentler this time, like a reminder to pick his battles. The man who came in, Kairo says quietly. Who was he? Rafe's jaw shifts. No one you need to worry about. He looked at me like I was a bargaining chip. He's dealt with. Dealt with how? Rafe's eyes meet his, steady, unblinking, the kind of way that ensures he won't look at you again. Kairo's stomach twists. He doesn't want to know more, doesn't want to imagine what dealt with means in Rafe Calderón's world, but he also can't ignore the fact that he's alive because of it, that his baby is alive because of it. The door opens, a woman enters, 50s, grey hair pulled into a tight bun, wearing scrubs that look military issue. She carries a tablet, doesn't smile. Her eyes flick to Kairo, then to Rafe. Vitals are stable, bleeding stopped, fetal heart rate normal. She swipes through screens on the tablet, but he's at 32 weeks. Any more stress could trigger preterm labor. Kairo's breath catches, 32 weeks, the baby isn't ready, not yet, not for another 2 months. The woman looks at him directly now. You need bed rest, no stress, no physical exertion. Someone needs to monitor you around the clock. I can't afford. It's handled, Rafe interrupts. Kairo's head snaps toward him. What do you mean it's handled? I mean you're staying here until it's safe for you to leave. I don't even know you. You got in my car. By mistake. Rafe's expression doesn't shift. Mistake or not, you're here now, and until that baby is born healthy, you're not going anywhere unsafe. Kairo wants to argue, wants to tell this alpha that he doesn't get to make decisions for him, doesn't get to play savior just because he has money and power and a name that makes people disappear. But the truth sits heavy in his chest. He has nowhere else to go. His apartment lease ended 2 weeks ago. His savings account has $43. His phone died somewhere between the rideshare cancellation and the wrong car. He's alone, pregnant, bleeding, and the only person offering help is a man whose empire was built on violence. The woman leaves without another word. The door clicks shut. Silence stretches between them, thick, uncomfortable. Kairo stares at his hands, at the IV taped to his wrist, at the evidence of how badly he miscalculated his life. I had it under control, he says quietly. Rafe doesn't laugh, doesn't mock him. I'm sure you did. I don't need you to save me. Too late. Kairo's throat tightens. He blinks hard, refusing to let tears fall. He's cried enough in the last 8 months, cried when the father walked away, cried when his landlord served the eviction notice, cried when the doctor said stress could kill the baby. He won't cry in front of this alpha, won't give him that. I'll leave as soon as I can, Kairo says. Leave to where? The question lands like a punch, because Kairo doesn't have an answer, doesn't have a plan, doesn't have anything except a baby that refuses to wait and a body that's failing both of them. Rafe stands, get some rest, we'll figure it out. There's no we. Rafe pauses at the door, hand on the frame. He looks back, and for the first time something flickers in his eyes, something that almost looks like understanding. There is now. The door closes, Kairo is alone again. The machines keep beeping, the baby keeps moving. And somewhere outside this sterile room, in a world Kairo doesn't understand, an alpha mafia boss is making decisions that will either save him or destroy him. He doesn't know which one terrifies him more. The facility has no windows. Kairo notices this on day 2. Or maybe it's day 3, time blurs when you're lying in a bed that isn't yours, in a room that smells like antiseptic and decisions you didn't make. He counts ceiling tiles, 36, then he counts heartbeats. His own, then the baby's through the monitor strapped to his belly. They don't match, they never do. A nurse brings food 3 times a day, not hospital food, real food, grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, fresh bread that still steams when she sets the tray down. Kairo eats because the baby needs it, not because he wants to accept anything from Rafe Calderón's world. But his body doesn't care about pride, it cares about survival. Rafe visits twice a day, morning and evening. He doesn't stay long, doesn't ask intrusive questions, just checks in, exchanges a few words with the medical staff, then leaves. It should feel impersonal, clinical, but something about the way Rafe's eyes linger, just a second too long on the monitor, on Kairo's face, on the hands Kairo keeps pressed to his stomach, feels anything but detached. On the 4th day, Kairo asks the question that's been building. Why don't you have security in here? Rafe looks up from his phone. He's sitting in the chair again, one leg crossed over the other, posture relaxed but ready. You think you need security? I think you do. Kairo shifts against the pillows, trying to find a position that doesn't make his back ache. That man who came in, he knew where I was, which means other people might too. No one knows you're here except the people I trust. You trust people, the words come out more bitter than Kairo intends. Rafe's mouth almost curves, almost, selectively. What if you're wrong? Then I handle it. Kairo's jaw tightens. You keep saying that, handle it, like everything's just a problem you can solve with enough money or threats. Most things are. I'm not a thing. Rafe sets his phone down. His full attention shifts to Kairo, and it's like standing in front of headlights, blinding, inescapable. I know. 2 words, but they carry weight. Acknowledgement, maybe even respect. Kairo's pulse quickens, and he hates that it does. Hates that this alpha's attention feels like something he's been craving without realizing it. I need to make a call, Kairo says abruptly. To who? That's my business. Rafe studies him for a long moment. Then he reaches into his jacket, pulls out a phone. Not his own, this one's different. Smaller, prepaid probably. He hands it to Kairo. Untraceable, don't call anyone who might trace back to this location. Kairo takes the phone, their fingers brush, brief, accidental. Rafe's skin is warm, warmer than expected. Kairo pulls his hand back like he touched a stove. Who would I even call? Kairo mutters, staring at the phone's blank screen. The truth is, there's no one. His mother stopped answering 2 years ago when he came out as Omega. His sister moved to Atlanta and changed her number. The friends he had in Maryland scattered when his ex started spreading lies, saying Kairo was unstable, manipulative, trying to trap him with a baby. None of it was true, but lies don't need truth to do damage. Rafe stands. If that changes, the phone's yours. He leaves before Kairo can respond. The door clicks shut. Kairo stares at the phone in his hands, at the lifeline he doesn't know how to use. Then he sets it on the table beside the bed and closes his eyes. The baby kicks, hard like a protest. I know, Kairo whispers, I know. Hours pass, maybe days. Kairo loses track. The nurse comes and goes, the machines beep, the baby moves. And Rafe keeps showing up, reliable as clockwork, asking nothing and offering everything. It's on the 6th day that Kairo's past walks through the door. She's wearing Gucci, head to toe, the kind of outfit that costs more than Kairo's used to seeing in one place. Her hair is perfectly styled, her makeup flawless, her smile sharp enough to draw blood. Marable Knox, Kairo's former guardian, the alpha who promised protection and delivered betrayal. Kairo's breath stops. Marable's eyes sweep the room, cataloguing, assessing. Then they land on him and her smile widens. Well, look at you. Kairo can't move. Can't speak, his body locks up, every muscle tightening like it's preparing for impact. I heard you landed on your feet, Marable continues, stepping closer. Her heels click against the floor. Though I have to admit I didn't expect this. Rafe Calderón, really, Kairo, you always did have a knack for finding powerful men. Get out, Kairo's voice is raw. Oh, don't be dramatic, I just wanted to see how you were doing. Her eyes drop to his stomach, and to see if the rumors were true. 8 months, is it? Who's the father? None of your business. Marable laughs, light, airy, cruel. Everything about you is my business. I made you remember, took you in when no one else would, gave you a roof, a future, and how did you repay me? Kairo's hands curl into fists. You used me. I gave you opportunities. You sold me. The air crackles. Marable's smile doesn't falter, but something cold flickers in her eyes. You were always so ungrateful. Even now, lying in a bed paid for by a man you barely know, you act like you're the victim. The door opens. Rafe steps in. His gaze moves from Marable to Kairo, reading the room in seconds. His expression doesn't change, but the temperature drops. You're done, he says quietly. Marable turns, eyebrows raised. Excuse me. Leave now. She tilts her head, studying him like he's a puzzle she's already solved. You think you're different from the rest of us. You think protecting one Omega makes you noble. Different enough, Rafe's voice is flat, final, leave. Marable's jaw tightens. She looks back at Kairo one last time. This won't last. Men like him don't save people, they collect them. Then she's gone, the door closes. Silence floods the room. Kairo's chest heaves. He can't breathe right, can't think. Shame burns through him, hot, choking. All the old wounds Marable carved into him rip open again, bleeding fresh. Rafe moves closer, slowly, carefully. She won't come back. How do you know? Kairo's voice cracks. Because I'll make sure of it. Kairo looks up. Rafe's eyes are steady, certain, and for the first time since this nightmare started, Kairo believes him. California smells different. Not bad, just different. Salt and sage instead of exhaust and asphalt. The air here doesn't press down, it floats, carries weight differently. Kairo stands on the deck of a house he doesn't own, overlooking cliffs that drop straight into the Pacific. Waves crash below, relentless and indifferent. He wraps his arms around his stomach. 34 weeks now. the baby's running out of room, pushing against his ribs like it's already trying to escape. The move happened fast, too fast. One day he was in that windowless facility in Manhattan, the next he was on a private plane heading west. Rafe didn't ask, just told him, "You're leaving, it's safer." Kairo wanted to argue, wanted to say he didn't need to be hidden away like evidence, but Marable's visit had shaken something loose inside him, some last thread of defiance that finally snapped. So here he is, Big Sur, a house built into the cliffside, all glass and clean lines, no neighbors, no surveillance cameras he can see, just security that moves like shadows and a view that makes him feel small. Footsteps behind him. Rafe. "You should be resting." Kairo doesn't turn. "I've been resting for 2 weeks. Doctor said bed rest. Doctor said reduce stress. Being locked in a room is stressful." Rafe moves to stand beside him, close but not touching. His presence is solid, grounding. Kairo hates how much he started to rely on it. "This isn't a prison," Rafe says. "Feels like one. You're free to leave." Kairo finally looks at him. Rafe's expression is unreadable, always is, but there's something in his eyes, something that looks almost like concern. "Leave to where?" Kairo echoes the question Rafe asked weeks ago. "I have $43 and a baby due in 6 weeks. Where exactly am I supposed to go?" Rafe's jaw tightens. "You're not going anywhere." "So it is a prison." "It's protection." "From what?" "Marable, she got what she wanted. She got to remind me I'm nothing." "You're not nothing." The words land too soft, too certain. Kairo's throat tightens. He looks away, back at the ocean. Waves keep crashing, the world keeps turning, and he's stuck in a house with an alpha who keeps saving him for reasons Kairo can't understand. "Why are you doing this?" Kairo asks quietly. "I already told you." "No, you gave me a non-answer. I want the truth." Silence stretches. Rafe doesn't move, doesn't deflect. When he finally speaks, his voice is low. "Because no one did it for me." Kairo's breath catches. He turns, searching Rafe's face for cracks, for lies, but all he sees is something raw, something honest. "What does that mean?" Rafe's eyes stay on the horizon. "It means I know what it's like to be thrown away, and I won't let it happen to you." Kairo's chest aches. He wants to ask more, wants to dig into whatever history made Rafe Calderón build walls this high and hearts this guarded, but before he can, his phone buzzes. The prepaid phone Rafe gave him, the one Kairo hasn't used. He pulls it from his pocket, frowning. Unknown number. He answers, "Hello." Breathing's heavy, deliberate. Then a voice, male, cold. "You think you're safe?" Kairo's blood turns to ice. Who is this? Doesn't matter. What matters is you're a liability, and liabilities get dealt with. The line goes dead. Kairo stares at the phone, his hands shake. Rafe is already moving, taking the phone, checking the number. His expression hardens. "Inside, now." "What? Now?" Rafe's tone leaves no room for argument. Kairo moves, legs unsteady, back into the house. Security appears, 2 men armed, faces blank. They sweep the property while Rafe makes calls. Low, clipped, arranging something, fixing something. Kairo sinks onto the couch, hands pressed to his stomach. The baby kicks hard, agitated. Or maybe that's just Kairo's heartbeat transferring through. Rafe ends the call, kneels in front of Kairo. His hands hover near Kairo's knees, not touching but close. "Ready." "We are moving you again." "Where?" "Somewhere no one will find you." "They already found me." "That was a bluff, a scare tactic." "How did you know?" Rafe's eyes meet his. "Because if they wanted you dead, you'd already be dead." The bluntness should terrify him. Instead, it steadies him, because it's honest, real, not sugar-coated. "Who is they?" Kairo asks. "Marable's network, or what's left of it." "I thought you said she was dealt with." "She was, but loyalty doesn't die just because the leader steps back." Rafe stands. "Pack what you need, we leave in an hour." "I don't have anything to pack." Rafe pauses, something flickers across his face. Regret maybe, then just be ready. He leaves. Kairo sits alone in a house that was supposed to be safe. His phone, his real phone, the one that died weeks ago, sits charging on the table. He picks it up, powers it on. 15 missed calls, all from blocked numbers, and 1 voicemail. He plays it. Marable's voice fills the room, smooth, poisonous. "You can run, Kairo, but you'll always be what I made you. and sooner or later, Rafe will see it too. Kairo deletes it, but the words stay, burrowing under his skin, infecting everything. The baby kicks again, harder this time, like it's trying to remind him we're still here, still fighting. Kairo presses his palm flat against his stomach, breathes, focuses. An hour later, they're gone. The bleeding starts at 3 a.m. Kairo wakes to wetness, warm, spreading. His hand moves automatically to his thigh, comes back dark. Even in the dim light filtering through blackout curtains, he knows. Blood, too much blood. Panic spikes, he tries to sit up, but pain lances through his abdomen, sharp, vicious. A contraction, 35 weeks, too early, too soon. Rafe, his voice comes out strangled, weak, he tries again louder. Rafe. The door bursts open. Rafe's there in seconds, barefoot, shirt half buttoned like he dressed while running. His eyes sweep the bed, lock onto the blood. His expression doesn't change, but his movements accelerate. How long? He's already pulling his phone out, dialing. I don't know. Another contraction cuts Kairo off. He doubles over, gasping. Rafe's hand finds his shoulder, steady, grounding. Breathe, count with me, in for 4. Kairo can't focus, can't breathe right. The baby is too early. The baby isn't ready. This isn't how it's supposed to happen. Kairo, eyes on me. Kairo looks up. Rafe's face is inches away, calm, focused, like this is just another problem to solve. In for 4, Rafe repeats. Out for 4, match me. Somehow Kairo does. In, out, the contraction ebbs. He sags back against the pillows, shaking. Rafe's already on the phone again. I need the team here. Now, yes, bring everything. He hangs up, looks at Kairo. How bad is the pain? Bad, it's too early. I know, but they're ready. The doctor's coming here. Here? You're not going to a hospital. Why not? Because hospitals have records, and records get leaked. Rafe stands, starts stripping the bed with efficient movements. Can you move? Kairo nods. Rafe helps him up, supports his weight as they move to the bathroom. Kairo catches his reflection in the mirror, pale, terrified, stomach huge. He looks away. 20 minutes later, the house is full of people. A doctor, 2 nurses, equipment that looks like it belongs in an operating room. They set up in one of the spare bedrooms, transforming it into something clinical and sterile. Kairo lies on fresh sheets, hooked up to monitors, an IV in his arm. The doctor is a woman in her 60s, no nonsense, efficient. Placental abruption, she says after examining him. Partial, we've stopped the active bleeding, but if it progresses, we'll need to deliver. How early is too early? Kairo's voice shakes. 35 weeks is viable, but we want to buy more time if we can. I'm giving you medication to stop the contractions. The medication burns going in. Kairo grits his teeth. The baby moves, sluggish now, tired, or maybe that's just Kairo projecting. Rafe stands at the foot of the bed, arms crossed. He hasn't left, hasn't even sat down, just watches, guards. Hours pass, the contractions slow. Stop, the bleeding doesn't return. Kairo drifts in and out of sleep, tethered to consciousness by the steady beep of monitors and the weight of Rafe's presence. When he wakes fully, it's afternoon. Golden light slants through the windows. The medical team is gone, except for one nurse, sitting quietly in the corner, reading. Rafe is still there. You need to rest, Kairo says, voice hoarse. I'm fine. You've been standing for 6 hours. 7. Kairo wants to argue, but exhaustion drags at him, and something else, something that feels dangerously close to gratitude. Thank you, he whispers. Rafe's eyes meet his. Don't. Don't what? Thank me for doing what anyone should do. Most people wouldn't. Rafe's jaw tightens. He looks away out the window. Most people are cowards. Kairo studies him. This alpha who built an empire on fear but can't accept thanks for basic decency. Who threatens to destroy networks for looking at Kairo wrong but won't take credit for saving his life. Why did you really help me? Kairo asks again, softer this time. The truth. Rafe is silent for a long moment. Then, because I'm tired of watching people get thrown away. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. The nurse stands, excuses herself quietly, leaves them alone. Kairo's hand finds his stomach again. The baby shifts, small movements, reassuring. Still here, still fighting. I don't know how to do this, Kairo admits. Be a parent, raise a kid, I barely kept myself alive. You'll figure it out. How did you know? Rafe finally looks at him, because you're still here. The words settle between them. Simple, true, Kairo wants to believe them. Wants to believe he's strong enough, brave enough, capable enough, but doubt roots deep. His phone buzzes, the nurse's phone, then Rafe's, all at once. Rafe checks his screen, his expression hardens. What? Kairo asks. Briar Holt was arrested. The name means nothing to Kairo. Who? The alpha from the Boston network, the one who came to the hospital. Memory flashes, blonde hair, cruel smile, eyes that measured Kairo like livestock. What did he do? Kidnapped a courier, tried to use them as bait. Rafe's voice is flat. Federal agents picked him up an hour ago. Kairo's chest tightens. Did you? I handed them evidence, they did the rest. Evidence of what? Everything: trafficking, money laundering, extortion, enough to bury him for life. Kairo stares. You destroyed him. I neutralized a threat. That's the same thing. No, Rafe looks at him. Destroyed would have been messier, this way he just disappears. The distinction should matter, should make Kairo feel better, but all he feels is the weight of how much power Rafe wields, and how easily it could turn on him. What if I become a threat? The question slips out before Kairo can stop it. Rafe's eyes narrow. You won't. How did you know? Because you're not like them. Like who? People who take without asking, who use others as currency. Rafe steps closer. You got in my car by mistake. You didn't scheme, didn't manipulate, you were just trying to survive. Kairo's throat tightens. Marable said I'm what she made me. Marable lied. How did you know? Because I've seen what she made, and you're nothing like them. The certainty in Rafe's voice cracks something inside Kairo. He blinks hard, fighting tears. Loses. Rafe doesn't move, doesn't offer comfort, just stands there witnessing, allowing. I'm scared, Kairo whispers. I know. What if I can't do this? You will. How did you know? Rafe's eyes soften, barely, but enough, because you already are. The baby kicks, strong, insistent. Kairo laughs through tears, broken, relieved. Outside, the sun sinks toward the ocean. Inside, monitors beep, and between them, an alpha and an omega who met by mistake, something fragile begins to solidify. Not trust, not yet. But the foundation for it. The nursery is finished before Kairo sees it. He walks in on a Tuesday morning, 36 weeks now, moving slow because everything hurts: his back, his hips, the weight of a baby who seems determined to arrive on its own schedule. The door is open. Light streams through windows he didn't know existed, and there it is. A room that shouldn't exist in an alpha mafia boss's house. Soft grey walls, a crib made of natural wood, corners rounded smooth, a rocking chair positioned near the window, cushions thick and forgiving, shelves lined with books, actual books, not decorations, a changing table stocked with supplies, everything simple, everything safe, everything chosen. Kairo's breath catches. Rafe appears in the doorway behind him. If you don't like it. I like it, the words come out strangled. The colors can be changed. It's perfect. Silence. Kairo keeps staring at the room, at the evidence of care he didn't ask for but desperately needed. His hands shake. He presses them against his stomach, trying to ground himself. Why? He asks quietly. Why what? Why do all this? The house, the security, this. He gestures at the nursery. You don't owe me anything. Rafe steps into the room, stands beside him, not touching. I know. Then why? Rafe doesn't answer right away. He looks at the crib, at the books, at the window where fog rolls in from the ocean. When he speaks, his voice is low. Because no child should start life the way I did. Kairo turns. Rafe's expression is unreadable, but something cracks beneath the surface. Something old, something that still bleeds. What does that mean? Rafe's jaw tightens. It means I know what it's like to be unwanted, and I won't let that happen to your son. How do you know it's a boy? I asked the doctor. Kairo's chest tightens. You had no right. You're right, I didn't. Rafe meets his eyes, but I needed to know so I could prepare. Prepare for what? For whatever he needs. The simplicity of it breaks something in Kairo. He wants to be angry, wants to rage at this alpha for making decisions without permission, for overstepping, for caring too much, but all he feels is exhausted, grateful, terrified. I don't know how to repay this, Kairo whispers. You don't have to. Everything has a price. Not this. Kairo's throat closes. He turns away, blinking hard. The baby kicks, sharp, insistent, like it's agreeing, or arguing. Kairo can't tell anymore. His phone rings, the prepaid one, unknown number again. Kairo's stomach drops. He answers, hands shaking. Hello. Static, then a woman's voice, not Maribel's, younger, desperate. Is this Kairo Vale? Who is this? My name is Zara. I worked for Maribel Knox. She's planning something. Kairo's blood turns cold. What do you mean? She's coming for you, not now, but soon. She's gathering people, alphas who owe her. She's telling them you stole from her. I didn't steal anything. I know, but they don't, and they're angry. Zara's voice drops. There's going to be a meeting in 3 days in Nevada. She's going to offer a bounty. Kairo's legs give out. He sinks into the rocking chair, phone pressed to his ear. Rafe is already moving, taking his own phone out, gesturing to security. Why are you telling me this? Kairo asks. Because she ruined my life too, and I'm tired of watching her destroy people. Zara's breath hitches. Be careful, she's not done with you. The line goes dead. Kairo stares at the phone. His hands won't stop shaking. Rafe kneels in front of him, takes the phone gently, sets it aside. What did she say? Kairo tells him every word, every threat. Rafe's expression darkens with each sentence. We're leaving, Rafe says when Kairo finishes. Where? Somewhere she can't follow. There's nowhere like that. There is, Rafe stands. Pack what you need, we leave tonight. I just unpacked. I know. Kairo wants to scream, wants to throw something, wants to demand why his life can't just be normal, why he can't just have a baby in a hospital like everyone else, why he can't just exist without looking over his shoulder. But normal was never an option, not for him. The baby kicks again, harder this time. Kairo gasps, doubling forward. Pain radiates from his abdomen, not a contraction, something else, something wrong. Kairo, Rafe's hands find his shoulders. I don't know, another wave of pain. Sharper, Kairo cries out. Rafe's already yelling for the doctor. Security floods the room. Hands guide Kairo back, lay him flat on the floor because the bed is too far. The doctor appears, quick, efficient. She presses on Kairo's stomach, checks his pulse, listens. Contractions, she says, real ones this time. It's too early, Kairo gasps. 36 weeks is viable, but we need to stop them if we can. She looks at Rafe. Get him to the room, now. They move him, the world blurs, pain, voices, hands. Kairo's vision tunnels. He feels the baby shifting, pressing, trying to escape. Too soon, too fast, everything is wrong. The medication doesn't work this time. The contractions keep coming, 5 minutes apart, then 4, then 3, the doctor's face tightens. We're not stopping this, she says. He's in active labor. Kairo's mind fractures. No, not now, not like this. Not while Maribel is out there planning, hunting, waiting. Rafe's hand finds his, steady, grounding. Look at me, Rafe says. Kairo does, amber eyes, calm, focused. You can do this. I can't. You can. Another contraction. Kairo screams. The world narrows to pain and pressure and the overwhelming need to push. The doctor is talking, instructions, encouragement, but all Kairo hears is his own heartbeat, his own breath, his own terror. Hours pass, or minutes, time stops meaning anything. And then a cry. Small, furious, alive. The doctor lifts a tiny body, slick and red and perfect. It's a boy. Kairo sobs, relief, exhaustion, joy, terror, everything at once. They place the baby on his chest. Warm, real, his son, his. Sol, Kairo whispers, the name he chose weeks ago, for light, for hope. Sol screams louder, tiny fists waving. Kairo laughs through tears, hands cradling this fragile, impossible thing. Rafe stands at the edge of the bed, watching. His expression is unreadable, but his eyes are wet. Thank you, Kairo says. Rafe shakes his head. You did this. We did this. The words hang between them, heavier than they should be, more honest than either expected. Sol quiets, nestling against Kairo's chest, breathing, living. Outside, the sun sets. Inside, a new life begins. But in Nevada, 3 states away, Maribel Knox sits in a conference room surrounded by alphas who owe her favors. And she smiles. The attack comes through paperwork. Not guns, not violence. Just a manila envelope slid under the door at 6 a.m., 2 days after Sol's birth. Kairo is still in bed, Sol asleep in a bassinet beside him, when Rafe brings it in. His face is carved from stone. "What is it?" Kairo asks, voice rough from exhaustion. Rafe doesn't answer. He opens the envelope, pulls out documents, legal documents, custody papers, a petition filed in Maryland claiming Kairo is an unfit parent, mentally unstable, history of manipulation, living with a known criminal. Maribel's signature at the bottom. Kairo's world tilts. "She can't do this," he whispers. "She already did." Rafe's voice is tight, controlled, but fury simmers underneath. "I haven't even left the state with him." "How?" "She filed in Maryland because that's where you were living when you got pregnant. Jurisdiction." Rafe sets the papers down. "She's using old addresses, old records, painting you as unstable." "I'm not unstable." "I know. Then how do we fight this?" Rafe's jaw works. He looks at Sol, tiny, sleeping, unaware. "We go on record, file counterclaims, prove she's the one who's dangerous." "How long will that take?" "Months, maybe longer." Kairo's hands curl into fists. She's trying to take him. "She won't succeed." "You don't know that." Rafe steps closer. "Yes, I do, because I won't let her." The certainty should comfort him, but all Kairo feels is trapped, caught between a past that won't let go and a future built on sand. Sol stirs, makes a small sound. Kairo's attention snaps to him immediately. He lifts the baby, cradles him close. Sol's eyes flutter open, dark, unfocused, beautiful. "I won't let anyone take you," Kairo murmurs. Rafe watches them. Something shifts in his expression, something raw. "I have resources, lawyers, people who owe me." "I don't want to owe you." "You won't. This isn't transactional." "Everything is transactional." "Not this." Kairo wants to believe him, wants to trust that this alpha, this man who built an empire on deals and leverage, is capable of giving without expecting return. But trust is a muscle Kairo hasn't used in years. It atrophies, fails when you need it most. "What if we lose?" Kairo asks quietly. "We won't. But what if we do?" Rafe kneels beside the bed. "Eye level now, then I'll make sure Maribel loses everything else." The threat is quiet, absolute, and for the first time, Kairo understands why people fear Rafe Calderón, not because he's violent, but because he's thorough. "I need air," Kairo says abruptly. "You should rest." "I need air." Rafe hesitates, then nods. "I'll stay with him." Kairo looks at Sol, at this tiny person who depends on him for everything, then at Rafe, at this alpha who's offered protection without asking for anything in return. "You sure?" "I've held Barbies before." "When?" Rafe's expression closes. "A long time ago." There's a story there. Kairo can feel it, but now isn't the time. He hands Sol to Rafe carefully. The baby looks impossibly small in the alpha's arms, but Rafe holds him like he's done it 1,000 times, confident, gentle. Sol doesn't cry, just blinks up at him, curious. Kairo steps outside. The deck overlooks the ocean. Fog rolls in thick, irising the horizon. He breathes deep, salt, sage, freedom that doesn't feel free. His phone buzzes, the real one this time, a text from an unknown number. "You can't hide forever." Kairo's stomach drops. He deletes it. Another comes immediately. "Rafe can't protect you from the law." "Delete. You're going to lose everything." Kairo throws the phone. It skitters across the deck, stops at the railing. He sinks to his knees, head in his hands. He's so tired, tired of running, tired of fighting, tired of being hunted by a woman who should have protected him. Footsteps, Rafe. Sol's asleep, Rafe says quietly. Then he sees Kairo, sees the phone, his expression hardens. What happened? Kairo tells him, shows him the texts. Rafe reads them without reaction, then he makes a call. "I need a trace, now, pause, I don't care what it takes, find the source." He hangs up, looks at Kairo. "We're moving up the timeline." "What timeline?" "The one where we end this." How? Rafe's eyes are cold, calculated, by making Marable an offer she can't refuse. What kind of offer? The kind that makes her disappear. Kairo's chest tightens. You mean kill her? I mean neutralize her, legally. There's a difference. Yes, Rafe crouches beside him. I'm not a murderer, Kairo, I'm a strategist, and Marable has vulnerabilities, I just need to exploit them. What vulnerabilities? Rafe's mouth curves, sharp, humorless. Everyone who's ever helped her build her empire is also someone who can tear it down. I just need to give them a reason. Kairo stares. You're going to turn her own people against her. Yes. How? By offering them something better. Like what? Immunity, protection, a way out. Rafe stands. Marable rules through fear, I'll rule through incentive. Kairo's mind spins. It's ruthless, calculated, exactly what he'd expect from someone like Rafe, but it's also smart, effective. How long will it take? Kairo asks. Days, maybe a week. And if it doesn't work? It will. You can't know that. Rafe's eyes meet his. I can, because failure isn't an option. Inside, Sol starts to cry, a thin, insistent wail. Kairo's body responds immediately, milk letting down, instincts firing. He stands, moves toward the door. Rafe catches his arm, gently. Whatever happens, you and Sol are safe, I promise you that. Kairo wants to believe him, wants to trust that this alpha's promises are worth more than paper, but promises have broken him before. Don't make promises you can't keep, Kairo says quietly. I don't. Their eyes hold, something passes between them, understanding, maybe, or the beginning of it. Kairo goes inside, picks up Sol. The baby latches immediately, desperate. Kairo settles into the rocking chair, exhaustion dragging at him. Rafe stands in the doorway, watching, guarding. And somewhere in Nevada, Marable Knox receives a phone call that makes her smile disappear. The meeting happens in a warehouse. Not the California house, not anywhere Kairo has been. Rafe insists he stay behind with Sol and security. Kairo wants to argue, wants to be there when Marable's empire crumbles, but Sol needs him more. So he waits. Paces the living room with Sol against his chest. The baby sleeps unaware. Kairo counts heartbeats. His, Sol's, the seconds that stretch into minutes, into hours. Rafe left at noon. It's almost midnight. Kairo's phone rings, the prepaid one. He answers immediately. It's done. Rafe's voice, steady, certain. What's done? Kairo's heart races. Marable's network, dismantled. 3 of her top enforcers flipped, gave testimony to federal investigators, the rest scattered. Kairo sinks onto the couch. What about Marable? In custody, arrested 2 hours ago, Maryland State Police. On what charges? Trafficking, fraud, conspiracy, enough to put her away for 20 years minimum. Kairo's breath leaves him in a rush. She's really gone. Yes. What about the custody claim? Withdrawn, her lawyer dropped it the second she was arrested. Kairo's eyes burn. He presses his face against Sol's head, breathes him in. It's over. It's over. Relief crashes through him, then suspicion. What did you do? Silence. Rafe, what did you do? What I had to. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting. Rafe's voice softens. You're safe, Sol's safe, that's all that matters. Did you hurt her? No. Did you threaten her? I didn't have to, the evidence spoke for itself. Kairo wants to push, wants details, but exhaustion wins. When are you coming back? 2 hours, maybe less. Be careful. A pause, then I will. The line goes dead. Kairo sets the phone down, looks at Sol, at this tiny person who almost didn't exist, who's safe now because an alpha mafia boss decided to care. He doesn't understand it, doesn't understand why Rafe did any of this, but he's grateful, desperately, overwhelmingly grateful. Sol stirs, opens his eyes. They're still dark, too early to tell what color they'll be, but they're clear, focused, like he sees Kairo, really sees him. We are safe, Kairo whispers, we're finally safe. Sol makes a small sound, not quite a cry, just acknowledgement. Kairo closes his eyes, lets himself believe it. 3 hours later, headlights sweep across the windows. A car door closes, footsteps. Rafe walks in, he looks exhausted, tie gone, shirt wrinkled, shadows under his eyes, but alive, whole. Kairo stands, Sol still asleep against his chest. You okay? Fine. You don't look fine. Rafe's mouth almost curves. I've had longer nights. Did anyone get hurt? No one who didn't deserve it. Kairo winces, that's not comforting. It's honest. They stand there, awkward, uncertain, too much has happened too fast, too many lines blurred. Thank you, Kairo says quietly. Rafe shakes his head, you don't have to. Yes, I do, Kairo steps closer. You saved us, repeatedly, even when you didn't have to. I wanted to. Why? Rafe's eyes meet his, tired, honest, because you deserved it. The words settle between them, simple, true. Sol shifts, makes a small cry. Kairo rocks him automatically. Rafe watches, something soft in his expression, something that looks almost like longing. Do you want to hold him? Kairo asks. Rafe hesitates, you should rest. I'm asking if you want to hold him. Another pause, then Rafe nods. Kairo transfers Sol carefully. The baby settles into Rafe's arms like he belongs there. Rafe's expression transforms, guard dropping, something raw surfacing. He's so small, Rafe murmurs. He'll grow. I know, Rafe's thumb brushes Sol's cheek, gentle, reverent, but right now he's perfect. Kairo's throat tightens. He's watching something he doesn't fully understand. An alpha who built walls so high he forgot what it felt like to be soft, relearning. You'd make a good father, Kairo says quietly. Rafe's eyes snap to his, I'm not. I know you're not his father, but you've protected him like you are. Rafe's jaw works, he looks back at Sol. I just didn't want him to grow up alone. He won't, he has me. I know, Rafe's voice drops, but he could have more. The implication hangs, heavy, complicated. Kairo's heart races. He doesn't know what Rafe is offering, doesn't know if he's ready to accept it, but he knows this, safety isn't just walls and security, it's people who choose to stay. We should talk, Kairo says, about what happens next. Tomorrow, Rafe says, tonight just rest. Kairo nods, takes Sol back, settles into the couch. Rafe sits beside him, not touching, just present. And for the first time in months, Kairo lets himself breathe. The first sunrise feels different. Kairo wakes to golden light streaming through windows he stopped fearing. Sol is asleep in the bassinet, breathing steady. Rafe is gone, but there's coffee on the table, still warm. A note beside it in sharp handwriting, meeting with lawyers, back by noon. Kairo drinks the coffee, black, strong, exactly how he needs it. His phone buzzes, not the prepaid one, his real phone. A text from Zara, the woman who warned him. Marable's in prison. Thought you should know. Also, I'm testifying. Figured you'd want to know that too. Kairo stares at the message, then types back, thank you. 3 dots appear. Then, you deserve better than what she gave you. We all did. The dots disappear. Kairo sets the phone down. Sol wakes with a cry. Kairo lifts him, changes him, feeds him. The routine is becoming familiar, comforting. This tiny person who depends on him completely, it should terrify him, but it doesn't, it anchors him. Rafe returns at noon exactly, carrying a folder. What's that? Kairo asks. Custody documentation. Legally, Sol is yours. No one can challenge that now. Rafe sets the folder on the table. I also had my lawyers draw up a trust for his future, education, whatever he needs. Kairo's chest tightens. You didn't have to. I wanted to. Rafe. Let me do this. Rafe's voice is quiet, firm, plays. Kairo's throat closes, he nods. They sit in silence, Sol between them in his bassinet, oblivious to the weight of the moment. What happens now? Kairo asks finally. That's up to you. What do you mean? Rafe leans forward, elbows on his knees. You're safe, Sol's safe, Marable's gone, you don't need me anymore. The words land like a punch. So you're leaving, Kairo's voice cracks. No, Rafe looks at him. I'm asking what you want. Kairo's mind spins. What does he want? A month ago he wanted safety, a roof, a chance. Now he has all that. But somewhere along the way he started wanting more. wanting the alpha who stands guard at 3 a.m., who holds Sol like he's precious, who looks at Kairo like he's worth protecting. I don't know, Kairo admits. That's okay. Is it? Yes, Rafe's eyes are steady. You don't owe me anything, Kairo. Not gratitude, not obligation, nothing. What if I want to owe you something? Rafe's expression shifts. What do you mean? Kairo's heart races. I mean, what if I want to stay? Not because I have to, because I want to. Silent. Rafe's eyes search his. You're sure? No, Kairo laughs shakily. I'm terrified, but I'm sure about this. I don't want to do this alone, and I don't think you want to be alone either. Rafe's jaw tightens. He looks away. I'm not easy to live with. Neither am I. I have enemies. So did I. This life, it's complicated. Life is always complicated. Kairo shifts closer, but it's less complicated with people who care. Rafe's eyes snap back to his. You think I care? I knows you do. How? Because you're still here. The words settle, truth without decoration. Rafe stands abruptly, paces to the window, stares out at the ocean. I don't know how to do this. Do what? Be what you need. I don't need you to be anything except honest. Rafe turns. I'm broken, Kairo. I've done things, terrible things to survive, to build this empire. I'm not some hero who swooped in to save you. I know. Then why? Because broken people understand each other. Kairo stands, walks to him. You think I'm not broken? You think Marable didn't carve pieces out of me I'll never get back? Rafe's eyes are wet. You deserve better. Maybe, but I'm choosing this, choosing you. Kairo's voice shakes. If you'll have us. Rafe's control fractures. He reaches out, cups Kairo's face. Gentle, reverent, you're sure? Yes. Rafe's thumb brushes across Kairo's cheekbone. I'll protect you, both of you, always. I know. They stand there, inches apart. The ocean crashes below. Sol sleeps, and something fragile solidifies into something real. Rafe leans forward, presses his forehead to Kairo's. Thank you. For what? For trusting me. Kairo's eyes close. Thank you for being worth it. They stay like that, breathing together, building something neither of them thought possible. Later they walk along the cliff path, Sol bundled against Kairo's chest. Rafe carries coffee in a thermos. The fog is lifting. The view stretches for miles. What happens next? Kairo asks. Whatever we want. That's simple. That's simple. Kairo smiles. For the first time in months, he believes it. 6 months later, the answer arrives. Not in words, in moments. Sol's first laugh, high and bright, triggered by Rafe making ridiculous faces over breakfast. The way Rafe's entire expression transforms, wonder replacing the careful control he wears everywhere else. Kairo's first full night of sleep, 8 hours uninterrupted, because Rafe took the night shift without being asked, walking Sol through fussiness until dawn. The legal papers that arrive confirming Marable's conviction. 23 years, no parole. Zara's testimony sealed it. Justice, not revenge. Closure, not victory. The day Rafe asks casually over dinner if Kairo wants to make this permanent. Not marriage, neither of them is ready for that, but partnership, legal guardianship shared, a family chosen, not forced. Kairo says yes before Rafe finishes the question. They don't have a ceremony, don't need one, just signatures on paper and a quiet dinner on the deck, Sol asleep between them in his carrier. I never thought I'd have this, Kairo admits. Neither did I. What changed? Rafe looks at him, at Sol, at the life they've built from wreckage. I stopped believing I didn't deserve it. Kairo's throat tightens. We both did. They sit in comfortable silence. The ocean breathes below. Stars emerge overhead. Sol's tiny hand curls around Kairo's finger. Do you ever regret it? Rafe asks quietly, getting in the wrong car. Kairo considers, all the fear, the pain, the uncertainty, weighed against this, safety, partnership, a son who will never doubt he's wanted. No, Kairo says, it was the right car, I just didn't know it yet. Rafe's hand finds his, squeezes gently. They stay there until Sol wakes, hungry and insistent. Kairo lifts him, feeds him. Rafe clears the dishes. Ordinary tasks made extraordinary by who they're doing them with. Later, Kairo stands in Sol's room, the nursery Rafe built before Sol was born. the room that promised safety when Kairo had none. Sol sleeps in his crib, growing fast, too fast, already outgrowing newborn clothes. Rafe appears in the doorway. You okay? Yeah, Kairo smiles, just thinking about how close we came to losing this. Rafe steps closer, wraps his arms around Kairo from behind, chin resting on his shoulder. They watch Sol together, their son, not by blood, by choice. We didn't lose it, Rafe murmurs. We fought for it. You fought for it. We fought for it, Rafe corrects. You fought just as hard. Survival is a battle too. Kairo leans back into him, solid, steady, home. I love you, Kairo says, first time he said it out loud. Rafe's arms tighten. I love you too. Simple words, heavy with meaning. They stand there until Sol stirs, then they move together, practiced, synchronized, a team. The next morning, Kairo wakes to sunlight and silence. Sol is already awake, making soft sounds in his crib. Rafe is gone, but there's a note on the pillow. Meeting in the city, back tonight, love you both. Kairo smiles, folds the note, keeps it. He lifts Sol, carries him to the window. The ocean stretches endless. The sky is clear. No fog, no threats, just possibility. You're going to have a good life, Kairo tells Sol. Not perfect, but good, safe, loved. Sol blinks up at him, trusting. Kairo's phone buzzes, a text from Rafe. Everything okay? Kairo types back, everything's perfect. And for the first time in his life, he means it. The wrong car became the right choice. The mistake became the miracle. And the alpha who should have been dangerous became the father Sol needed and the partner Kairo chose. Not because fate demanded it, but because they decided to build something worth keeping. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, showing up when it matters, choosing to stay when leaving would be easier. Sometimes it's an alpha with amber eyes who saw an omega bleeding in the rain and decided, not on my watch. Sometimes it's an omega who got in the wrong car and found the right home. The ocean breathes, Sol grows, Rafe comes home. And Kairo, for the first time, stops running. Because he finally has something worth staying for. This is where their story finds peace, not perfection, but partnership. If this story moved you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more stories like this. Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts and inspire others who need to hear that sometimes the biggest mistakes lead to the greatest blessings. Your story matters too, share it in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.